Shabbat Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. We're about to enter a heat wave where I am. Starting tomorrow, we're going to be in a 5 day heat wave where we're going to be in the 90s 5 days in a row. I said, okay, it's that time of the year already. So, all right. I mean, me, I don't mind it getting hot, but after so many days in a row, I get tired of it. I do. All right. So, we're going to talk about Iran, and they just put out a statement saying that they will not negotiate with Donald Trump, but they will negotiate with the US if they give them Obama. So Donald Trump was fuming mad because he can't stand Obama. And it's a way of trolling Donald Trump. And that's what Iran is doing. They're trolling him. They're saying that, they're calling Iran is calling Obama the goat. And I can understand why they would not want to negotiate with Donald Trump because Donald Trump has bombed them recently. And he's done exactly what they said. Every time negotiations are about to happen, he finds some reason to bomb them or threaten them. Oh, he's going to wipe out their civilization. And they're tired of that mess. And Donald Trump is doing exactly what his forefathers do. He's no different. So they want Obama, or there'll be no negotiations, according to Iran. See, you never ever let your enemies know what you hate, Donald Trump, because they will use that against you. And that's exactly what they are doing. That's what they're doing. Oh, well, I'm going to let you listen to it. That's what I'm gonna let you. Well, and Chat GPT is not always right. Okay, they're not always right, especially when it comes down to things on social media, things that are not in mainstream news, but it's just what we're talking about on social media. Then Chat GPT is not going to always pick up on that kind of chatter. All right, y'all, let's do this. Okay. Well, one thing Iran did say that I did see out there was that deal they made with Obama was the best deal they ever had with a Western nation. And of course, Donald Trump came in and got rid of it. But now he's trying to put it back on the table, take Obama's name off and put his name on there. That's what he's attempting to do. And it's just not working out. It's not working out, Donald Trump, because what you're trying to do is evil. Stealing what you're doing is what your forefathers have done up in here this entire time. Y'all steal other people's work, slap your name on it, and then have the nerve to be arrogant and act like everything came from you when zero came from you. Thank you for the ones. Okay.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I thought this was fake. Iran said they only going to negotiate with the GOAT, the greatest of all time. They only going to negotiate with Obama. What the hell? Come on, y'all. It's crazy, right?
Already Black Rebel back with another one. Yeah, fam. Iran is not dealing with Trump. They don't want to deal with Trump. They say they must rather deal with Obama. They want Obama back to do the deal. They must rather deal with Obama because you got to realize they had a great thing going with Obama. Had a great thing going with him. But it's just like whenever he went over to China over there. Did y'all see our presidency was looking at him? He over there. You know, all that stuff like that. That man. Like, brother. And then didn't come out with no deal. They ain't helping him on no blockade. And then warn him about Taiwan. Don't get into that. And then let him know that another power is on the rise, which is them. You know, in so many words, that another power is on the rise, which is them, and it's about to take over, you know, this, which is true. BRICS nation. God said in the Bible, he was going to join the kings of the East together. He was going to join the kings. He was going to join them kings together. And, you know, they was going to do something. So look what's happening. This BRICS nation, baby. BRICS nation. All those kings are joined together. And guess who lost everybody? America. Yeah. See, they got a BRICS nation. Ain't no NATO no more. Man, they ripping that up. NATO got themselves now. They ain't got the main. You know what? Matter of fact, it may be a little bit of NATO. It ain't no America no more. Put it like that. Because they standing all by themselves. And President Xi got his chest out on him like that. So like I say, man, boy, then y'all make the wrong decisions. Did y'all hear that, man? Oh, he hollering about it, Joe Biden and Obama. Well, I heard when you ride a person like that, when you don't roll them for so long, like, he rides them like, brother, wow, he been riding Obama for a long time. And he riding Joe Biden. Well, I know Joe Biden tired, like, boy, get off of me. You heard me. He riding. Just riding them. Everything come up. Joe Biden, Obama. The other countries laughing at it. Because they like, well, instead of talking about Joe Biden, Obama, what you gonna do? Can't never tell them. Already, y'all. Pay attention, man, because it's about to get crazy. Keep the faith and stay blessed.
I have some really big news. Wait until you see this. Iran is now trolling Mr. Donald Trump. This is so good. Take a look. Take a peek at this. Hey, real Donald Trump, we've reviewed the tapes and decided we are only talk to the GOAT. They want to talk to the GOAT. Holding out for Obama. The big line right here. You know, the greatest president.
Okay, so this is a post that was put on X by Iran. All right. And this is where they had mentioned, you know, they prefer Obama over Donald Trump. So this was published out on X. All right. I know he's a bit soft. I'm just going to move this.
Unbelievable.
Breaking news, y'all. Oh, this is hilarious. Iran said to Trump and his administration, we're not going to do any negotiation. We'll only talk to Barack Obama. They said we want to talk to Barack Obama for negotiations or nothing. And Trump is mad as fuck right now because Iran respects Obama. Obama is the OG. Iran said we want to negotiate only with Obama, not you. Wow, y'all. Obama, get yours, man.
Listen, we understand that negotiating with Iran is difficult. It is difficult to negotiate a peace with a country, especially when you drop missiles on their school children, but that is neither here nor there. I would like to make a suggestion to Donald Trump. This is a really big negotiation. This is a really big deal to get done. Maybe you should call in Barack Obama, because he was really good at negotiating deals. He actually negotiated an amazing deal with Iran. And he didn't have to drop like a single missile on a single school. So I know that, you're struggling, you're flailing, you're being absolutely humiliated on a global stage. Like, you look like a complete jackass, and you're making the whole entire United States look like complete jackasses. You're out there fucking just embarrassing yourself and us every day. So I was thinking maybe you would want to call in an expert like Barack Obama, who is really respected throughout the world, and honestly, a far superior negotiator. Like, he was actually able to make deals that both sides accepted. He didn't just have to like strong arm and bully and murder school children to get his way. He was actually a great negotiator. So if you're looking for someone to help with your negotiating skills, which are obviously severely lacking, maybe Barack Obama, you should probably kiss his ass quite a bit first, because you honestly treated him like garbage. Like, you talked to Barack Obama like a racist pig would, like a disgusting slob would address a amazing, intelligent, well-respected black man. You treated him like you were a dumpy ass piece of shit who is embarrassed that nobody will ever like you the way that they love Barack Obama. And I get that. That is hard for your soul. So in order to get Barack Obama to help you, which you desperately need his help, you should probably put out like a giant apology, kissing his ass and saying what a fucking piece of shit you were to Barack Obama the whole time he was in office. And then maybe he will come bring his superior negotiating skills to help you land a deal with Iran before, everything in the world is fucking destroyed because of your fucking abject stupidity. I think that is your next step. Why don't you give that a try?
Breaking news. Y'all come on in the room. Have y'all heard? Have you heard? T. Look, like, lead, share, entertainment purposes only. And I'm just coming through this morning because, friend, did you know Iran Texas and said that there's no more negotiation with Donald Trump, that they need to go, Obama. They used the word go. I bet Orange Man himself and fucked around and turned another color. I bet you he turned another color. I bet them French fries and McDonald's grease don't taste that good this morning. They ran text and said negotiation is through with Donald Trump. That they got, if you want to come to the table and negotiate with them, you got to call the GOAT. Obama, breaking news.
Trump tried to bring Iran to the table to make a deal. They said, hell no, we don't trust you. We already know how you do. You're coming to dominate. But they talked to Obama, and they made a deal with Obama. Trump is pleased, to say the least. This is so historic. Man, I'll let y'all know what I hear.
Donald Trump just got absolutely embarrassed by Iran, and President Obama is the reason. Now, Donald Trump just sent a big, beautiful letter to Iran, asking them to come to the table to discuss a nuclear deal, something President Obama was successful at doing. And Iran immediately responded to Donald Trump, saying this, quote, "The insistence on the part of some bully states on negotiations is not to resolve issues, but to dominate and impose their own expectations. The Islamic Republic of Iran will definitely not accept their demands," unquote. And this is Donald Trump's fault. He set this up. Iran is saying, look, we don't trust you. You're not here to make a deal. Look what Donald Trump did with the USMCA and where he's at now. Look at how he's dealing with Ukraine. Iran looks at Donald Trump and says, nah, you're all talk. But President Obama was able to get Iran to the table and strike a deal. A deal, by the way, that Donald Trump undone, hoping that he could get his own deal in place. And he has absolutely failed. And I promise you, the ketchup is hitting the wall at Mar-a-Lago.
All right, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Trump, but credit where credit is due, because I just read through the terms of the new agreement with Iran, and it is a massive win for the United States. First, he got them to give up 11 tons of enriched uranium. That's 98% of their supply. They agreed to dismantle 13,000 centrifuges used to enrich nuclear material, and they agreed to cap the purity level of the little enriched uranium they still produce at 3.67%, which is 1/30th the level you'd need to make a bomb. And to ensure they don't go off the rails, they agreed to allow independent inspectors who conduct on-site inspections of all of their nuclear sites, including undisclosed locations we discovered through surveillance. On top of that, the Strait of Hormuz stays open and Iran gets no additional cut of oil that flows through it. Wait, hang on a sec. Shit, you guys, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Those were the exact terms of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, also known as the Iran nuclear deal signed by President Obama. That deal was so thorough and so well executed that in every single one of the more than a dozen independent inspections, Iran was fully compliant, including all of the inspections conducted by Donald Trump's own State Department. And on top of that, Obama's deal took the Strait off the table as leverage, because in exchange for giving up their nuclear weapons program, they got relief from sanctions on oil sales. So closing the Strait would have hurt them just as much as anyone else. But Trump tore up the deal anyway, because just like with the Affordable Care Act, any policy that proves Obama was 1,000 times the president Trump will ever be is an unacceptable living reminder of Donald Trump's incompetence and inadequacy, because there is nothing Trump hates more than a mirror that tells the truth about his reflection. A Velveeta Cheeto who is somehow simultaneously both twice the man and half the man that Obama continues to be. So with the deal torn up, within a year Iran had enough enriched uranium to be a problem, so sanctions were reimposed and the Strait was turned back into a hostage. But because Donald Trump can't make a deal durable enough to serve as President Obama's toilet paper, he painted himself into a corner and had no choice but to turn to the military to try and bury the problems he couldn't solve with a pen.
So Iran just tweeted out that they will only negotiate with Obama. Yep. They said, sorry, we're holding out for the GOAT. Yeah, we're not talking to you. We were going to wait for President Obama, the greatest president of all time. We ain't fucking with you, but we're chilling here by the Strait of Hormuz until you send in the varsity team. We will only negotiate with Obama. Oh my, Trump's head is going to explode. He's, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Trump, there will be ketchup, French fries, and cheeseburgers hitting every wall of the White House tonight, because Iran is straight trolling Trumpy McDupper pants.
Yeah. And by the way, that post is still out on Twitter that Iran sent through saying they preferred Obama over Donald Trump. Can you imagine the look on his face? Donald Trump think he's all that in a bag of chips. Donald Trump need to go somewhere and sit down. I mean, Obama is not my favorite president, but he certainly did a better deal with Iran than Donald Trump, and nobody got bombs put down on him or nothing like that. There was no war that broke out when he laid down that deal with Iran. That is the difference. Donald Trump keeps talking about negotiating, and then days before the negotiation, he keeps bombing them. All right.
Wiper, clean up on the aisle, Oval Office. Yeah, he got a big load right now after this one. Yeah, Iran is trolling Trump. They said they're only going to negotiate with Barack Obama. Fucking genius.
Yep. And the bottom line is, y'all, the longer they keep holding out and the Strait of Hormuz is not open and they're going back and forth, the worse it's going to be for America and the American economy, with the high prices still going up. So I don't know what Donald Trump is going to do, but at this rate, if you're going to call for negotiations, it might help if you don't threaten or bomb or block and do all that kind of stuff. Have your negotiations, and we already see you're not a good negotiator. You walked away empty-handed with China. You could have made a lot of deals. Usually when presidents go on those far away trips, they come back with all kinds of deals for America, where they trade, and a lot of the trades happen during that time. He came back empty-handed, y'all, and that's not how this thing goes. He's supposed to come back empty-handed, and we see it's been several weeks of him going back and forth with Iran, and you can see that's going nowhere. So Donald Trump is not no negotiator, and that book he put out, trust me, it was ghostwriters. Donald Trump probably didn't write one single word in that book. The Art of the Deal. Donald Trump can't make deals. You see how he makes deals. He's horrible. And like I said, I wonder who the ghostwriters were that wrote that book, because Donald Trump definitely did not write that book. It's no doubt about it. So, I know, people are laughing about this over what Iran put on Twitter, but the bottom line is the only one that's going to suffer the most are the American people, because the longer nothing gets settled, the more you're going to be paying at the pump and paying at the grocery stores and on your energy bills. It's not going to get better. For real. It's not going to get better. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much once again for being here. Thank you for your support. And at 1:45, we have our Bible study. So some of you I will see there. Those of you that I won't, have a wonderful afternoon. Shabbat Shalom.